Hey Marksman fans, Ben Garrett here down here with head coach Phil Esposito after his team's 5-4 shootout victory over the Mississippi River Kings. Coach, overall big picture, looking at this weekend, your team takes 3 out of 4 points. Obviously you want to get all of those, especially in the position you're in the standings, but 3 out of 4 is not a bad weekend.
No, it's good. It's good, and I'm very happy, with what we did this weekend. It's one of those things that, when I got here at the end of November, it was a process. It was going to be a lot of work, and I knew there was going to be a lot of turnover, and then there was going to be a lot of time that it was going to take to get these guys to buy into what we're selling, what I'm doing here, systems-wise and stuff. And the guys are starting to get it now, and we got some good goaltending tonight from Pat Spano, who came back, and it's nothing more than what I can ask from the guys. Just giving me 110% and doing the things that I ask, and as we do it, we're successful.
You talk about the turnover, and you talk about Pat Spano in particular. He comes back. How huge is it to have that second goaltender to kind of relieve Peter DeSalvo, who had gone for 4 or 5 straight games? I mean, for a goaltender, that's a lot of work in net. So you get a young guy back to kind of help him out.
Yeah, and it is, and it's a big help to have 2 guys who can play like we have now. It's a confidence thing too for the goaltenders, because you get a goaltender and he plays really well, and we don't win like happened last weekend and stuff. And then we get ourselves in a situation where you only got to play 1 game in 2 nights, and I have another guy who can play the next night, and Pat coming back and him not playing, him getting called up to the East Coast League was a confidence booster for him. He came back and he played really well tonight. But our guys in that room there, the guys that we have, and the worst part about this whole thing is we're still losing guys at the same time. So we lost Shives, we lost Jake Wood, and then I got guys that are stepping up and filling holes, and we're still being able to be successful. So it's a real positive outlook here. It's just a matter of getting guys back and getting these guys to keep playing this way, and the more we gel and the closer we get as a group, the better off it's going to be.
Hey, you mentioned those call-ups. League-wide, SPHL just being ravaged by call-ups, the ECHL having a rash of injuries and looking for those guys to help out their teams. 7 guys now called up throughout the season for the Marksmen. Chiado, one of those most recently. A huge part of your offense. And coming into this game and really this weekend, I think a lot of people were concerned about where that was going to come from. And here tonight, you get Tommy stepping up for you. 2 goals in regulation. Jamie Hill comes through and gets the game winner in the shootout. How huge is it for you to have that secondary scoring from those guys who maybe weren't providing it before?
Well, yeah, and it's one of those things. And I really wouldn't even call it secondary scoring, because Jamie Hill and Tommy Fiorentino and Ryan Patch, I mean, those guys are here for a reason. Those guys are here to put points up. They're here to score goals. And I know that they just got here, and it's taken them a little while to get integrated into the system and getting used to the guys they're playing with. I mean, this is not, this is something, if you've never been involved in building a hockey team like this, you don't know how long it takes and the amount of time and effort that it takes to get these guys to start playing well together and finding the right combinations. And you've seen I've changed the lines probably 10 times in the last couple of weeks. And it's just, you got to find the right guys, you got to find the right chemistry, and once you find that, you have an opportunity like what you saw tonight, and it's fun to watch.
And you got a little bit of a break, 6 days as typical usually in the SPHL before your next game. How do you carry that momentum from this big weekend without getting too big of a head, I guess, let's say, as you prepare for your Friday matchup against Birmingham?
Well, the first thing I got to do is on Monday morning is get these guys back to the arena after they have tomorrow. I'll give them tomorrow off. And then Monday morning I get them back to the arena, and I go right back at them and I break them down basically and start over again on Monday and get them to go from the point that we're at now to a higher point by the end of next weekend. So, I mean, I get in there and I'll tell them and I'll show them the mistakes they made, and I'll knock them down a few pegs, and so they don't get too big of a head and think that all of a sudden now, because we got 3 out of 4 points, that we're a good hockey team, because honestly, we're still not. I mean, we still have a lot of work to do. We have a ton of holes that we need to plug, and a ton of areas that we need to get better at as a team in order for us to be successful in this league towards the end of the year. So, I'll start on Monday and we'll knock them down. We'll have another good week of practice. I'll beat them up all week long and get them ready for Friday.
All right, sounds like a plan, Coach. Good luck next Friday against Birmingham.
Thank you.